That was funny. I want my exam to be graded. I want my exam graded. Please grade my exam. Dude. This is stupid. I typed the word regression. You would think it would rename it. Correct. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That wasn't so hard now, was it? I'm not done yet. Still have to do all the boring old Word document stuff. And I have to clean up the presentation of these numbers too. Gotta be kidding. The base is going to be 17,000. It's going to be, you subtract the mileage from it, basically. The mileage will decrease the life of the car. I mean, the price. The amount more mileage it is, the lower the price. And you can round out. That was fine. Oh my goodness. I include the first 200 results of best match. The reason why I include, there were another 68 results on page 3, but a lot of these results did not have pictures associated with them, and a lot of them did not have prices, so I decided to just go with an even 200. And I chose this car because, I was going to choose one of the cars that me or my family have driven recently, but there weren't enough results for those cars on the websites. So instead, I decided to choose. I used to drive a Chevy Uplander, so I decided to choose a Chevy sedan. I decided to go to. Oh my goodness! So I chose 2015 because, like, it's kind of in the middle of 2010 and 2020. And all of our cars that we usually drive were made in like the 2010s, or the 2000s rather. All the cars that we currently drive were made in the 2000s, and then all the newest cars that exist are made in the 2020s. So I may as well just go like around halfway. I don't know. I chose a date that was like a little bit more than a few years ago, and 2015 was like a nice number to go with or something. And then I looked up, I kind of searched the best-selling cars of 2015 and chose the top result that showed up, which was the Chevrolet Cruze. And then I specified one LT because the website cars.com had the most results for one LT. If I used a different trim, then there wouldn't have been as many results. So that one gave me the most results. That was funny. You must cite the textbook? What? Are you kidding me? When defining what the coefficients from the regression mean, you should cite information from the textbook. They didn't make me do that last time. What the heck? Are you kidding me? Come on. I don't feel like citing the textbook. Dude, they didn't make me do that here. In this one, they didn't make me do it. Now they're saying you must, like, summarize the results. What? I don't want to cite the textbook. Man, that just adds an extra layer of complication to this. Man, like, what if all that stuff's common knowledge and you don't need to use a textbook to cite how you're supposed to. I didn't use to cite the book last time I did this. Wait, how am I supposed to know what to cite? I guess I'll just cite it if I look it up. If I need to look something up in the textbook, I'll just... But what if I don't need to look anything up? What if I remember everything? So... Huh. Man, why'd I have to write a stupid old paper? I don't want to write a stupid old paper. What the heck is this? Dude, what if I get points off for turning it in late, too? Man. Look at my research project. It wasn't really a research project. It was not that hard. Well, it kind of was annoying to have to figure out which car to use because I wanted to use one of the cars that I've driven recently, but I couldn't because there were barely any cars that fit that description on those websites. There were like only 10 to 15 of those cars, whereas I needed 30. So instead, I went with a different car, and then I literally recorded 200 results of that car instead of 30. Dang it, now you're going to hear me drinking a pop. Also, I call it pop. Like, what? Why did I have to grow up calling it pop? What percentage of the population calls it pop, and what percentage calls it soda? And I almost never drink pop. The only time I ever drink pop is if it's root beer. And it's A&W root beer, too. I don't even like most brands of root beer. I just like A&W and Culver's. Dang it, you're gonna easily hear me drinking the root beer. Gotta be kidding. Also, there's a high risk of it spilling on my computer because it's open. Dang it. I literally listed 200 results. 200. It took me an hour to do that. And then I got descriptive statistics. That's the mean price and mean mileage. There's barely any difference in the price. The price doesn't really vary. Well, that's the mean. That's the mean. The mileage. Okay, that's just the variability of, that's the range of what the possible population mean is. Assuming that we just sample 200, but there's way more than 200 that are actually available. I mean, there probably isn't even that much more than 200, really. I mean, yeah, like, what's the total population of cars that are being sold? Like, if you literally, I mean, how many websites would you have to look on to see the total population? There's probably a bunch of random websites that I could have looked at, but I didn't. So, that's not the entirety of how many cars are available. But anyways, that every single result on a scatter plot shows a general trend, but there's a lot of deviation from the trend, it seems. And if you want your best deals, just look at these 4 results right here, and these are the best deals you can get. In fact, this one is the best deal by far. Like, look how far below the line it is. Well, I don't know. This one appears to be the best deal, where you get a car for 124,000 miles for $5,400. And then there's a couple really cheap cars, but they're right on the line, really. Yes. The car I currently drive has like about this many miles on it. Oh jeez, it won't show me the stinking thing. Yep, that's how old of car I drive. Like, I drove a van for about 4 years that had around 200k miles on it. Wait, but how many miles did it have when I started driving it? I don't even remember. I wasn't keeping track. I really don't care at all what the mileage is in that car that I'm driving. I don't really look at it very often. And then that car went... that car... Stoppy? Had to be gotten rid of. That's why. It got too many problems, so we got rid of it. Now I'm driving a Buick that has around 200 something miles on it. It was made in 2003. I'm driving a car that's almost 20 years old. Like, what? Like, how many people are driving 2003s? And in fact, that's the car I'm currently driving. My dad bought it like 5 years ago. What? Dude. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like writing a stinking paper. Man. I don't want to write a paper. No! Why would I delete that stuff? That's obviously necessary to include. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, that's fine. 12. Nope. Double spaced. Remove space. Okay, there. Good. I used cars.com and did a search with these filters. Front wheel drive, gasoline, automatic transmission, 2015 Chevrolet Cruze 1 LT. 2015 Chevrolet Cruze 1 LT. I include the first 200 results of Best Match. There were a total of 68 results, but many of the remaining 68 results didn't have pictures or didn't have prices. So I decided to just go with an even 200. There were a total Do I have to tell you how I chose this? Why you chose this vehicle you chose to research? I chose this particular vehicle when choosing the vehicle, which vehicle to analyze, at first I wanted to choose one of the vehicles I had driven recently. But when I searched for them, there were not enough results that fit my specifications. So I realized that probably because the models were too old. So I had to choose something a bit more I had to choose a model that was a bit more recent. I went with the year 2015. And then I searched for the top selling cars from that year. Because I used to drive a Chevy, I went with the top selling Chevy from 2015, which was the the 2015 Chevrolet Cruze. I chose the 1LT version because it had the most results on cars.com. I went into way too much detail about how I chose that car. probably because the miles were too old. So I had to choose. What the heck? I had to choose a model that was a bit more recent. I went with the year 2015, and then I searched for the top-selling cars from that year. Because I used to drive a Chevy, I went with the top-selling Chevy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say Chevrolet. Because I used to drive the Chevrolet, I went with the top-selling Chevrolet from 2015, which was the 2015 Chevrolet Cruze. I chose the L1 LT version because it had the most results on Cars.com. Many of the remaining 68 results didn't have pictures and or didn't have prices. I'm going to say prices and or prices. So I decided to just go with an even 200. When choosing which vehicle I was, at first I wanted to choose one of the vehicles I had driven recently, but when I searched for them, there were not enough results that fit my specifications, probably because the miles were too old. I had to choose a model that was a bit more recent. I went with the year 2015, and then I searched for the top-selling cars from that year. Because I used to drive a Chevrolet, I went with the top-selling Chevrolet from 2015, which was the 2015 Chevrolet Cruze. I chose the 1LT version because it had the most results on Cars.com. I went into way too much detail about that. Now I have to... Okay, one, state the question you are answering. Okay, what is... I'm going to copy this text. And then one, paste text. You know what, let's go with... Dude, why? Why is this so messed up? What is the nature of the relationship between used car mileage and asking price for a 2015 Chevrolet Cruze 1LT? To answer this collection, To answer this question, I recorded the first 200 results of best match. There. What is the nature of the relationship between used car mileage and asking price for a 2015 Chevrolet Cruze 1NLT? To answer this question, I used cars.com and did a search with these filters. I recorded the first 100 results of best match. The first 200 results of the best match. There was a total. Okay, apparently there was a total of 268 results, but many of the remaining 68 results didn't have pictures and with prices. So I decided to just go with an even 200. When choosing which vehicle to analyze, at first I wanted to choose one of the vehicles I had driven recently, but when I searched for them, there were not enough results that fit my specifications, probably because the models were too old. I had to choose a model that was a bit more recent. I went with the year 2015, and then I searched for the top-selling cars from that year. Because I used to drive a Chevrolet, I went with the top-selling Chevrolet from 2010, which was the 2015 Chevrolet Cruze. Dang, on that one I might have to actually include a source. Gotta be kidding me, dude. I don't want to include a source. I chose the 1LT version because it had the most results on cars. Do I have to cite the source of cars.com as well? Gotta be kidding. Like, what? Man. No and all alternative hypotheses. So the null and alternative hypotheses I am testing. Null and alternative hypotheses. Hypotheses. So paste the text. Oh, man. Why is it so stupid? Subscript. Dude, this. What just happened? Wait. How do you do a subscript? Control equals? Or control plus equals? Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. 80 and then H. A. You show there is not a significant relationship between the mileage and asking price for a. I need to copy and paste this thing. Descriptive statistics. Wow, that was fun. Oh boy, time for this. Time for this. I need to fix all these. Really? How is the meaning? Like, jeez. Sample variance. There's no way! How is the sample variance this high? It cannot possibly be this high. What on earth? How? What? This makes no sense. How it... Did I make a mistake? Like, the minimum mileage was 19, maximum was 212. The minimum price was $4,500. Dude, that has to be an error. There's no way the sample variance is that high. Wait a minute. So the standard deviation is 30,000. I guess it makes sense. Like, this 30,000, and like when you calculate the confidence intervals, they make sense. So they make sense. I guess it's fine. For this, we'll just... I don't know. No, it's going to have to increase... Like, it's going to increase the size of this. Kurtosis. How did we get such a giant number for that? Don't need that. We just need like 4 decimals the most. Range. And then we have confidence interval. So... Dude, look at this. This one came up with... Okay, so every decimal, we're just going to stay consistent and keep it at 4 decimals. So... Dude, how did this variance end up so much lower? Okay. Okay, so I think we cleaned up the numbers there. We made every non-integer 4 decimal place. That's fine. We did things.